Hello, welcome back. So, I mentioned in the last episode, the messy last episode that was trying to fix all of the holes that had gone wrong. But this time, what we're going to do is we're going to change the colour around. So what I actually want is this to be grey, the text to be a different colour, and then we can work on the thing below. And I still want the outline to be the same, so we don't have to worry about that. But what we do need to do is go into the name text, and we want to change this fill that is currently replicating this, and I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to change this to be a sort of grey colour. Okay, just a nice grey colour, maybe about there. That looks pretty good. Okay, that's fine. Now let's go back to the name field and the text. What we want to do there is we're going to add in a fill. So if we just type in fill, drag this fill over to the text, add it on like that. Great. So this now has a colour to it. And if we press the opacity up a little bit, it's red. Great. And let's do that thing where we split it again. So we've got forge lower third and we've got the control. We're going to go to this fill that we've just added in the effects fill. We're going to alt click that and we're going to drag it over to there. Does that work? There we go. So now we've got it the way that we wanted it to be. That's the way that I should have done it originally. Okay, we're getting there now. This is looking pretty nice. And what we're also going to do is we're going to reduce that opacity back down to like 40%. Okay, so like that. Ah, lovely. That looks really nice. At this point, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and find a picture. I wonder if I've got any good pictures. This is all my uni work, so apologies for that. Downloads? I might have a picture in downloads. Here we go. I've got some. There's a picture of Connor. Let's use that picture. Why not? Oh. Okay. Put him on the bottom. And let's scale it up. It doesn't have to look amazing. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a background image in just so we can see what it would look like when we eventually go to render it out. So let's right click this image and I'm just gonna make it a guide layer so it won't even render out when we've got the finished thing, right? Looks pretty good. It's hard to see actually, so what we'd want to do in this sense is make the opacity a bit higher, right? So you want a little bit of see-throughness, so maybe like a 60%. Yeah, so that looks pretty good there. And now if that animates a bit slowly, but you can see that's looking pretty good there. That looks pretty nice. What I'd even want to do is I'd want to go and color pick this purple. Yeah, now look at that. Now we're getting there, and we'd probably want it to be slightly higher again, 80. In fact, maybe what we'd do is we wouldn't colour pick the purple. We'd colour pick this green over here. So it'd be like a complementary colour. I think it'd look pretty good. Yeah, like that. Okay, so now you can sort of see how this whole Essential Graphics package works with this. You can colour pick, you can just type in. I mean, I haven't got it typing in. Why is that not working? Oh, it's because we've moved that text again. So what we want to do is take source text. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this even better. I'm going to go back into here, and in this control layer, I'm going to add in text. Can I do that? Basic text. What happens if I add that to the control layer? It doesn't do anything. Okay, fine. No. Okay, right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the forge lower third, within this control, that is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to add some text, but I'm going to add it off screen. I'm going to call it text. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to name field, this source text, this source text, source text, alt click, I'm going to pick whip it to this text. Great. And same with the, oh no, I've done it wrong. It should have pick whipped to this source text. Yeah, pick whip to there. And then this text, I'm going to do the same thing, and it's going to go over to there. Okay, now what have we got? Long text. Okay, so it says text. We can delete that text, and this is the text that we're going to put in there. So we're going to call that name, and we're going to type Tom Mason and see what happens. Tom Mason, but it's gone way longer. Why is that? So this is the problem that I always have with After Effects, is that, I mean, one, I haven't planned this tutorial series. I'm just literally just doing it on a Wednesday afternoon, as you can see. Wednesday afternoon? Wednesday morning. So my brain is all fuzzy. And quite often with After Effects is you get so far and then it will break. It will always break. Something will break. And the trick is to trying to find where it breaks. So this is broken here. You see a little thing. Source text of that in name field. Okay, right. So that source text, forge lower third, text. Oh, because it's now not called text. So that should just be called text. Right? Let's move both of these back. Put forge lower third. Oh, forge lower third there. Right. Does that work? Animating. It's a good start. It's really slow, but it's a good start. That looks pretty good. That's all looking good so far. It's all looking good. It ended in the right place. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's press N and make it animate again. Quicker. Great. Let's make it a longer name. Oh, and it's got to render it. It looks like it's a longer name, though. Tom Mason longer name. That'll probably be about that length. Let's go to there. See what happens. Perfect. That's done it. Right. Great. We're a bit tidier again now. And we're getting there. Like that's passable. Like you could put that as a lower third. It looks pretty good. Let's go and let's just delete that from there, and we're gonna put it into this one. So this is where we're actually gonna like watch the final thing, right? Because forge lower third, this composition is like our final output. So let's scale that up a little bit. Great. That looks lovely. And that's not Tom Mason. That's Connor Arnott. When it loads, great. And let's drag that to this nice blue there. Oh, look at that. It's so easy. Fantastic. That looks really good. Okay. We're getting there. It's looking good. It's passable for a lower third, right? That could easily go on now. There's still like plenty of things we can do, but that I would say is looking pretty good. I'm going to actually change the colour of the box. And instead of being like that, I'm going to make it a little bit brighter. And let's have a look in there now. So let's go to there. Does that look alright? That's too bright now. Let's lock that composition. And let's go into name text. And let's change the... Maybe darker? Was it darker that it needed to be? Oh, it was darker. There we go. Right. That's fine. Great. How does it look with like darker text though? That's the thing. Right. So what we want to do now is we want the colour of this box to vary depending on the colour of the text, right? Because if we've got like really bright text, it's fine. It looks fine. But then if we've got really dark text, if we just so happen to want like, I don't know, like a really dark purple, right? Like that. Doesn't work. It like all blends in. It doesn't quite look right. So we're gonna use a command that is called RGB to HSL, right? It's an expression. So we will click on this color. Okay, and I need to go and find my there's I've got my notes with my color changer. Okay, so we're gonna say that. So we're gonna split this up again just so that I know where things are. So name text, that's the thing that we're changing, and the color is here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick whip this colour, right? That's not the colour that we want, but I'm pick whipping it for now. And I'm going to say C equals that thing, okay? So I've created a variable that is that colour. That doesn't mean that that's going to be the colour of the final thing, but I'm just picking that colour. Now what I want to do is I want to do a command called hsl equals RGB to HSL, and then I'm going to use C. Okay, so that's creating a command. So instead of this being a variable, this is now like a function. Okay, we've created a function that is this thing, RGB to HSL, and it will do it on this color. Okay, and what RGB to HSL will do is it will take the RGB value, red, green, blue value of the color, of this color, and it will convert it to HSL, which is hue, saturation, luminance, I think. Okay, and then we're going to create another thing, another variable that we'll call temp lum equals 1. Okay, temporary luminance equals 1, and then we're going to say if the HSL of 2, value 2, so hue, saturation, luminance, you start counting from 0. Okay, so hue 0, saturation 1, luminance 2. So if the luminance of this C is less than or equal to 0.35, then we will create curly brackets and we'll say the temporary luminance will equal 0.75. Okay, so what that's saying is if the luminance is low, you know, if it's a dark color, make it bright. Okay, and else the temporary luminance equals 0.25. So if it's not a dark color, if it's anything above that, so we're saying that anything above 0.35 is a bright color, then just set the luminance to 0.25. Okay, close that, and then we're going to end off with a final command that will say HSL to RGB. I think it's capital RGB, but I'm not. It might be RGB like that. I'll try it that way first. And then we're going to use square brackets, and it's going to be 0, 0, temp lum 0. Okay, close all of that, and let's see what happens there. I did get something wrong. I think it's RGB with capitals. No, it's not. What's the colour? HSL to RGB is not oh, so it was. I was correct the other way. It was RGB. What did I get wrong? HSL to RGB is not a... What? HSL to RGB is not a thing. Oh, it's because it's a lowercase t. Yeah, so it has to be uppercase T. HSL 2. There we go. Right, yeah, you see? So that's good. So we've got a light text box, and then if this is a light colour, I'll make it like that, it's going to be a dark box. Amazing. So that's good. I mean, it might actually be slightly too bright. So what we can do is change this. Is it this one? Yeah, so if it's a dark colour, it's a bright. So we're going to change this to 6.5 and see what happens. Yeah, so let's actually move that a little bit lower to about, let's have it 0.50. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So if it's a dark colour, so anything, does that count as a dark colour? That counts as a light colour. Okay, so let's maybe bring the tolerance down. So this can just take a little bit of playing with until you've got like what you want it to be. I think that's a nice colour grey though. So that's yeah, dark grey there, and then that's the light grey. So let's actually say that if it's anything below there, so now if we have somewhere in the middle, yeah, so that's still the light grey. We go there, still the light grey. There, light grey. There, dark grey. Okay, cool. It's probably that way rather than that way, isn't it? So what's that? That's somewhere in the middle. That's right, yeah. So that's that way. So there we go, that is how you do the colour changing thing. That is everything for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.